Welcome to the third episode of Obscure Hotline, the podcast that's a little too honest, a little too sexy for YouTube.
Yeah, probably. It's okay though.
That's all good.
We're back anyways. Can't hold us down.
No, we're good. We're good. We can always start with what we, I guess, usually kind of start with is what we're recording with. So, if you want to go ahead,
You're shotgunning.
kind of shotgunny.
I had the FDUCE here with me, so I decided to drop a big deuce on everybody today. The FDUCE SL40 running through the Zoom AMS-22. FDUCE. Yes.
Yeah, I've got my FDUCer right here. Right.
You always have what I have.
I know. It's the weirdest shit.
We like to share purchases. I tell you what now.
Look what else
I say,
I
Bronson,
got.
I'm gonna buy a double-headed dildo. He's like, you know what, Mark? I'm gonna buy a double-headed dildo too.
And then we'll share both of them together. And
Yeah.
I got
Like
the
human centipede.
I got the Donner next to me too.
Listen, I legit love that mic. I'm not even joking. I think people take me wrong when I get all excited about a mic like that because to me it is exciting. It's like I got 3 of them for a total of like $170.
Yeah, dude.
And to me that's fantastic. And the way it sounds is like it's not perfect. It's not like,
Oh no, but
there's better mics clearly, but for that price, I am very happy with it. I've got another one, the T-Bone BC 500, which is on Thomann.com, but it's an SM7B clone with a half yoke instead of a full yoke, and it's got the same switches as the Universal Audio. What is it, SD1? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh,
White
okay.
one?
Yeah. Yes.
Same switches. It's from the same body manufacturer because we all know now that the Universal Audio SD1 has that Chinese body, and they supposedly tune the capsule the way they wanted. But the capsule in that and the capsule in this T-Bone is the same because there's a little copper ring in the dynamic capsule. Almost everything's the same except for the grill because the grill's a looser fence style grill like the Music Villa MV3. But I mean, it cost me, with a really nice stand, cost me $110 and $35 that was shipping. And I hooked it up last night and I was like, man, cheap mics are just getting so much better.
They really are.
I'm really impressed with this thing.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's interesting because didn't Bandrew do a video? Is that the mic that he compared the SD1 to?
Yeah,
Maybe?
I've got a video on it too, the MV3 from Music Villa. And to my ears on Bandrew's video, they were super, super close. Now, I did hear a tiny bit more smoothness out of the Universal Audio.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but it was negligible. Like it wasn't enough to pay. And this mic, I think, will compare favorably to both of those. I'd say it's just slightly different, and it was under $100.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. One of these days, I'll have to use the SD1, and you'll have to use that mic, and we'll just...
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then we can long form have a recording of that. That'll be cool.
Long form, it sounds delicious.
Ooh, yeah. Put it in your mouth, boy. The microphone that I'm using, speaking of cheap, this is the Sennheiser MKH 50.
50?
Yeah, dude. It's a... So it's not... It's yeah. It's a short little... oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. It's like a small diaphragm condenser microphone.
Okay, so less a shotgun, more a
more
pencil.
So yeah,
condenser.
and actually, in a lot of situations, this microphone can be better than the MKH 416. It is $200 more than the 416. And
is it really?
Yeah, and but a lot of people, like especially in like Hollywood and movies, they use this microphone a lot for dialogue. It's very directional. It's a great microphone, but it doesn't give you that phase issue that shotgun microphones can sometimes have with their little rejection. This little area right here on the side of a shotgun microphone is meant to like reject the sound essentially.
Right.
But in certain areas or certain, like, depending on what the timing is of the sound source reflecting and hitting the side of a shotgun microphone, it can cause a phase issue and you can lose a lot of like your low end and like a lot of the definition of the recording.
Yeah.
So that's why this one's a little bit more safe sometimes. It might not reject as much noise, but it's something I'm going to test though, you know? So, but I'm, using the MKH 50 and the Rocaster Pro II, mostly because the Rocaster Pro II makes this really easy because I get to record you to like this own separate track in Hindenburg and me, and then I get to record another track of us together. And it's just, and then there's a backup SD recording. It's just nice that way. So
it has so many layers like an onion.
Yes.
Like Shrek.
For sure. Yeah. Like Shrek.
Like Shrek.
I can't say I've watched Shrek in a very, very long time.
Okay. I thought you were going to say it all. I was about to say this podcast is done. It's over.
Dude. No, it's been a long time though. I mean,
no, not really. I'm not a big Shrek fan. Like I enjoy him.
Yeah. I get you. Are you a Myers fan then?
No.
No.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Like I enjoyed the Austin Powers movies.
I liked Wayne's World,
and I liked Wayne's World, but him, like, you ever get sucked up into those stupid articles? They're like, this celebrity's an asshole, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like apparently he's a big asshole.
Well, so actually, Dr. Evil in Austin Powers was actually a character that Dana Carvey made up, and and Myers never told him he was going to use that character or anything. It was something that he would use on
what I read.
Yeah, like he would use that character on SNL, like behind the scenes, like just as like a joke, like a Dr. Evil. He'd even do like the pinky thing and everything. And Myers never told him. And then Dana Carvey saw the movie and was like, dude, what the fuck? And Myers just didn't talk to him for like 12 years. So
how stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so dumb.
That's a clear indicator to me of what kind of person you are.
Yeah. Welcome to the Obscure Hotline. we talk about...
Listen. Real people are not in harm's way today, but celebrities watch fuck out. We will talk shit about you, Mike Myers. We will. The Love Guru, trash.
Oh, hot.
Pure trash,
bro. Oh,
I'm glad. Garbage.
I'm glad
Didn't
you
watch the new
that.
Netflix movie, but I'm sure it was trash.
I'm a bigger fan of Michael Myers from Halloween than I am of Mike Myers, the comedian. So
agree 100%.
Yeah. I'm like actually the original Halloween. Oh, I'm a big horror guy. The original Halloween might be it's definitely top 5 for me. Like movies.
All genres?
Not just movies.
Nice.
And I think it's because like all the horror tropes hadn't been overused at that point, and it's kind of, and I feel that way kind of about The Exorcist also, where they created so much originality in both of those movies, and then it's just like has stood the test of time. People have used the shit out of every single item in all of those movies, and it's like, wow, like that is so like they're both very influential. There are other movies too that I'm sure someone is listening to this being like, what about blah? But those movies are the ones that are coming to mind right now, but especially for horror.
A lot of piggybacking off of those ones.
Oh yeah. Yes. Well, and I mean like without Halloween, there would be no Friday the 13th. Like even the people that made Friday the 13th said that. So yeah.
Yeah. And as long as you acknowledge things like that, you know, there's no shame in using inspiration and being clear about it.
Yeah.
As long as it's spoken at least or acknowledged or not denied. Mike Myers, you piece of shit.
He does do a lot of voiceover work though, like for his cartoons and everything. So, I mean, maybe he knows about microphones and stuff. That'd be maybe he'll start a channel, bro.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do the Austin Hotline or, you know,
dude, watch
Obscure Wayne.
Watch, we're going to get a comment that's like from Dana Carvey, and he's going to be like, dude, he's my dear friend, bro. You better like fucking back off. And I'm going to be like, wow, okay.
Sorry, Dana. Our bad, bro.
Sorry, I thought
I would just look
friends.
at him and be like, fuck's sake.
Dude, yes. Oh, good old Wayne's World, man. Yeah.
I had the biggest crush on, is it Tina Carrera or Asia Carrera?
I'm
from
not
Wayne's
sure.
World.
Oh,
The Ballroom Blitz gal.
Oh, dude, same.
Had the biggest crush on her.
I think that was like, okay, aside from Catherine Zeta-Jones in the movie Entrapment, those two were like the crushes when I was young, for sure.
Salma Hayek, Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, dude, fair. Yeah, that's a good one.
Jamie Lee Curtis. With Arnold. What the heck was that called?
Is it the one with like a lot of snow in the movie?
That's Frozen.
Right.
And you know, Anna.
Oh, it's True
Anna
Lies,
over
bro.
Elsa all day.
Oh, True Lies is the movie I think you're thinking of.
True Lies. I knew it was True
Yeah,
something.
dude.
Okay.
So, for real, like real talk, I've talked about this in an episode of the Audio Hotline. And speaking of which, we're both from channels on YouTube. I'm on the Audio Hotline, and Jeremy or Bart.
I'm Obscure Mics.
Yeah.
That's my channel.
Hell yeah. But I've never seen Frozen.
1 and 2.
Both good?
1, excellent. 2, incredible.
Really? Huh.
No shit. Frozen 2 is up there with the best animated movies of all time, in my opinion. It is absolutely stunning visually, and it's really fun. But I really dig the kids' movies. Like, I really enjoy the Sonic movies 1 and 2. Like, I think those are great. Like, I enjoy the shit out of those.
Yeah.
But I'm just, where I have kids, I watch them all. So, of course,
no, that's fair.
they grow on me.
Yeah, and kind of what happened for me is like when I was younger, I'd have 9 nieces and nephews. Well, 7 nieces, 2 nephews. And when I was younger, that would definitely happen more where I would like go see the movies with them. But then like when I went off to college, is kind of when that stopped a little bit. And that's like when Frozen came out and like a bunch of other stuff. And so I just like never saw it. But then I was also like, this has been made such a big deal. And I'm so fucking punk that I can't see it, bro. Like,
it happens. It happens. I mean, there is the whole, I was trying to think of a better term, but it's the overhype syndrome, when something's overhyped, you just get to the point to where you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, stuff like that. There's burnout. Like, I don't know if you watch the Marvel movies.
I don't anymore, but I did like them. Like, I liked him, but I had a roommate, like he was my best man. He was like, he's been a good friend of mine since we were like 15 years old. He's like all into it. Yeah. So like when I was roommates with him in college and everything, like it was a big deal. And that's when a lot of them were like really coming out and like really starting to drop and everything. And, he's like a big Captain America guy. So I know like an ass load about Marvel stuff. Not so much since like 2020,
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I was into them. Like, I enjoyed them. And then all of a sudden they pump out too much. I can't keep up. So I bailed. Like, I can't, that's a lot of watch time.
Dude,
between the shows,
they're all so
the
long.
movies that are now coming out every month or two, and it's like, dude, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with that, and it's oversaturation.
Yep.
Just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that I think that I would probably go out of my way to watch is a Guardians movie. I have fun with those.
Yeah, those are good. Those are really good.
The Thor one that just came out or is coming out, I'm not even sure.
It's out.
That one seems interesting because it seems a little different.
Yeah. Well, the last Thor was different. It was
it was. I
fun.
liked that Thor, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show. Good flick. But yeah, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, it is. Thor's have been good though, which is funny because like if you were to be like, hey, which movie out of all these characters would you probably not want to see? I'd probably would pick Thor.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my least favorite. Like I don't care about I don't like the fantasy stuff. I'm not into like the gods and shit from Egypt back in the day and medieval like Game of Thrones. I don't get into any of that.
Oh, gotcha.
Like it's too medieval and fantasy. Not big on that.
There needs to be some grounded reality in a show. I get that. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I can't do the like super science fiction-y stuff either. Yeah.
No. I used to dig some science fiction, but now it's, comedy.
Which is funny because like you could argue that a lot of horror is that. But honestly, like
but
a lot of
different breed.
Yeah. A lot of the horror that I watch and love isn't really like paranormal stuff or like what would it be, like satanic stuff or anything like that. I will watch like ones that get good reviews, but I'm more like I really like the thrillery stuff. But then again, I don't know. Like I guess I do like the Conjuring movies are solid, and those are
Conjuring movies are good.
Well, and that's one thing that's interesting to me about those is like the Warrens or whatever, they like supposedly experienced this stuff and like went and helped people. And so that fascinates me because it's like, that's interesting, like that's interesting that the whole story, and I don't know how I feel about that stuff, but like, it's interesting.
Well, see, where you're a purist, you'll probably disagree with me if you're a purist, but the Rob Zombie Halloweens, like the story of a kid that's basically mentally abused and mistreated becoming what he becomes, I meant like that is interesting to me.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like I actually can tell you, even though I am like slightly a purist, I don't know. Like I wouldn't say that with horror movies. I definitely, there are some like sequels and redos that I think that I like more, but I'm not like the newest Halloween in like 2018 that came out. I like that one more than the Rob Zombie Halloween. But I still really did like the Rob Zombie Halloween. The second one was brutal.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Dude,
it's
that was
exciting
like,
when somebody just goes nuts. And it's not paranormal. Yep. It's not spiritual. It's just a person who loses their shit.
Yep.
And one of the creepiest things I've ever seen was the first season of True Detective. Did you watch
that? Dude,
With Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey? Talk about creepy.
Oh, dude, just constant like that gross like chills feeling. I'm like, oh, like ew.
At the end of like, I don't remember, it was towards the end of the season, but at the end of the episode when they see someone like walking through a dead field with a mask and like something in their hand, it was just like the way they stopped it.
Yes.
Like, as he looked and the episode just ended, it was like, oh God. Like
dude,
that chilled me to my bones.
Oh, that was like such a good season, dude. That was
it was so good. I haven't watched any of the other ones because I heard season 2 was not that great.
Yeah.
Is there a season 3?
I'm pretty sure there is. I think there is. Yeah, dude, that was, I think, one of the greatest seasons like of any show I've ever seen.
Oh,
like,
it was absolutely
amazing,
and it was chilling.
Oh, so creepy, but
yeah.
Oh, dude, I love how off topic we are. This is fantastic. It's not, well, there is no topic. There is no
and
fucking topic.
No, there is no topic. But since we're talking about chilling and stuff, like I don't even know how I got on this topic because I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but Rob Zombie again, one of the most chilling things I've seen too, which is weird because it's completely unrealistic and it's just total, almost like horror pop, is Dr. Satan from House of a Thousand Corpses. That dude scares the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah. No, I get you, though. Yeah.
Like, just seeing him was just like, oh, he's so repulsive that it creeps me out.
Dude, my wife actually, more than me even, she does really tend to love the Rob Zombie movies.
They're solid.
They're good, though. Yeah, like, and I get why someone can watch them and be like, this isn't for me. Like, I feel like that could be any movie, but I get it more with Rob Zombie movies because they tend to be pretty extreme and everything. But dude, yeah, House of a Thousand Corpses was so good. Oh, and we watched one recently. It was 31. Definitely not
the clown. I haven't seen that.
Definitely not like my favorite one of his, but it was still a solid show. Like it was a good movie. But yeah.
I'm interested to see what he's doing with the monsters. Like, is it going to be
Dude,
cheeky or is it going to be dark?
I know, because I saw some pictures that came out and it looked like it was going to be kind of true to the original monsters.
Oh, definitely. At least visually. I just don't know about dialogue.
That's what I'm wondering too. Yeah. I hope
it'd
that
be absolutely awesome if there was just like a handful of super dark moments sprinkled into what is otherwise a true reproduction.
Dude, that would be fantastic. I actually oddly always loved the Munsters show. Yeah, like I don't know, even like when I was younger, I freaking loved that show.
Can't say I've actually watched it much, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, familiar enough to at least, but I don't think I watched that or The Addams Family or anything like that growing up.
Really?
For me, it was like MacGyver.
Oh, okay.
It was basically what my stepdad watched. So it was MacGyver, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Walker, Texas Ranger. Walker.
And just shit like that. Blood sport.
That reminds me of Talladega Nights. How he names his kid.
Walker,
he's like, Walker,
Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger.
I'll beat shit out of you, old man.
Dude, oh man. That's one of those shows that I like loved. And then over time, I was like, yeah, I don't think it's that as funny as I thought it was. But then I like randomly saw it and I was like just losing my shit still. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's like Smells Like Teen Spirit. It just gets so popular that you're like, I can't even look at it or hear it. Yep. And then if you let enough time go by and you hear it and you're like,
oh, this is good.
Walker, Texas Ranger. It's all of a sudden good again. That happens.
Yeah. We should do a Smells Like Teen Spirit, but just all Talladega Nights sayings in the song.
That's a fantastic idea. That is a lovely idea. Is that a fucking cougar in my car? Is that?
Dude, one of my favorite is, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've said this, and this is going to make me sound like a total D-bag, which that's fair.
We've done that before. It's fine.
No, it's fine. Dude, when he says at the very end, he's like, I'm as hard as a diamond in an ice storm right now. I always think that's fucking so funny. Oh my gosh.
Stuff like that is great, especially stuff that you can like take sayings from and just use for the rest of your life, like Anchorman. Like,
oh, dude, there's so many.
I can't tell you how many times I've said that something works 100% of the time, 60% of the time, or whatever the line is. I have used that for so much, and like half the time, people would just look at me funny, like that's a weird way of putting it. And like, yeah,
dude. No, I totally agree. I know. I feel like the person that I do feel like I quote the most is Will Ferrell. Like,
pretty quotable.
I think that he might be. Yeah. Dave Chappelle.
I quote Dave Chappelle way too much.
I do. Yeah, I would say, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell. I cannot say his name right now. Probably the most quotable for me. I'm trying to think of. I know that a lot of people have a mixed bag of this, but Andy Samberg, I know a lot of people don't like him. But Hot Rod, Hot Rod got me though. Like I thought that Hot Rod was funny, you know.
Yeah.
I would say Hot Rod is like one of the ones that I do quote quite a bit, but yet a lot of people are like, I don't know what your take is on this. They're like, he's not funny, he's just loud.
No, I think
he's both.
He's okay. He's the LeBron James of comedy. I feel like he makes everyone around him in a show or movie better.
Yeah, that's fair.
His brand of comedy isn't necessarily hilarious in itself.
Yes.
I feel like it opens up. I feel like it opens windows for everyone around him to be hilarious because I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Dude,
I love that show.
Amazing show. Yes.
And everyone in that show, everyone is fantastic. I think they're all better than Andy Samberg, but I don't think they would all be as funny unless he was in the center. It's like he's
like setting them up, dude.
Nipple of the breast.
Yes,
he is the nipple of the breast, and the rest of it is built around him.
Yes, absolutely, dude. It's Boyle, right, dude? Boyle kills me, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Sergeant Holt is
dude. Yes, he's probably my favorite. Yeah,
those timed deliveries, like of where he's dry for so long, and then he says something that just makes you lose your shit,
dude. Yes,
like, it's pure brilliance in my opinion. Oh
yeah, dude. Well, I remember. I think that after the first season, they were gonna cancel it. And there was like a big backlash about it, and they were like, and then look how many seasons they made after that. It's crazy. Yeah, but it's wild.
I haven't finished it yet. I think I'm on the last season at some point, but man, I love that show. I'm like milking it because I don't want it to be over.
Dude, same.
The same thing I'm doing with Schitt's Creek.
Oh, dude,
I want that to be over.
We binged the shit out of Schitt's Creek, dude. Schitt's
Creek's great.
It's great,
so
man.
Good.
I love it. Yes, I love it. David
Dan Levy is David. He's become one of like my favorite. Hands down actors. I want to see him in more. He's wonderful.
I know. I would love to see him in more shit. There was a movie. There was like just like a romantic comedy that I saw him in, and it was like I think it was like a Christmas movie even. But dude, just the whole time, like I was still just like, God, he is so funny. Like
he's
love
hilarious.
it. Yeah.
Have you seen, God dang, what's that Netflix movie? There's a Netflix movie that Keanu Reeves plays himself in. And he's a real douchebag.
Oh, it's Always Be My Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like roles like that, like Keanu Reeves, dude, freaking hilarious in that. Like I'd like to see Dan Levy in a movie like that.
Dude, that'd be so funny.
Speaking of like the horror, which this isn't that horror-y, but have you seen Ready or Not?
Dude, I love it so much.
God, so fucking good.
So
there's another movie
dude.
Coming out that's similar to that.
Oh, no way.
Where a girl sends off her DNA because she has no family, finds out she has a cousin in like England, and they're all vampires.
Yes, dude, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That looks good. Shit like that's so much fun.
Dude, yeah, like that's like the perfect amount of like horror and comedy. And it's like none of it felt forced. And it was all just like, it was all perfect. Like I love that movie, dude. Like I can't even tell you how many times I've watched that movie. It's over 10 though. I know that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so much fun. That always brings me to Game Night too. Winston from New Girl is in Game Night.
Oh yeah.
Saw that movie. That's fucking hilarious too.
I love Game Night, dude. Yes.
I think I saw that in the Ready or Not, like real close together.
Oh yeah.
It was pre-pandemic.
Oh okay. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I like her a lot. I can't remember what her name is in Ready or Not, but she's in another one that's like a satirical horror movie. It's called The Babysitter. The first one was fantastic, but the second one was like very weird. I didn't see it, but I know what
you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, I would recommend the first one. The second one's just like too over the top for me. But and she wasn't in the second one a lot. But yeah, dude, first one, absolutely recommend.
I need to catch up on some movies. I've been behind. I've been watching weird stuff. Like I decided to go on a DC binge with the DC movies just to see if they were good at all. And I was pleasantly surprised and disappointed.
Yeah.
Because Justice League, the 4-hour Justice League cut, I was sucked in. Like I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this is good for 4 hours. And then Wonder Woman 84 was trash. Aquaman was trash. The first Wonder Woman was really good.
Oh yeah,
first
Wonder Woman.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, first Wonder Woman. I actually couldn't finish 84. Yeah.
It sucked.
Do it. Yeah.
It was just tacky.
Yeah, it was.
And I love Kristen Wiig. But
yeah, me too.
It just wasn't working.
Dude, Bridesmaids, that's another one I quote all the time, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's classic.
Oh, you're shitting there. Just shit in the middle of the street. Dude, I love that.
And This Is 40. Like those are just anything that ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, Paul Rudd is another one. I love you, man. I was just going to say I love you, man. Yep. Yeah, Paul Rudd is another one that I quote a lot, I will say. Yeah. Like, specifically, I love you, man, for sure. But
yeah, I've said slap into bass way too many times.
Dude, yep. I literally called you Bro Montana earlier today. So that was from I Love You, Man.
And that's good. Yeah. And that was a response to Love You, Bro Namath.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Which brings me to Jason Siegel. Big Jason Siegel fan.
Oh, yeah,
too.
Dude. Love Jason Siegel. Forgetting Sarah Marshall was a big one. Oh, yeah.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall is great.
Yeah.
Russell Brand taught me a sexual move in that movie that I'd never tried, the upside down crab. I was like, that's got to work.
That's got to be something.
It does. Works really well.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Not for a 40-year-old, but 35, yeah.
He's an interesting guy, Russell Brand.
You know, I was kind of in his camp, but he's big about the YouTube videos now, and he's borderline kooky.
Yes.
He claims he doesn't believe what he's pitching on there, but all he pitches is like, I hate to miscategorize it, but it's borderline conspiracy stuff. It's like, yeah, it's weird. It's like third party information, basically.
Yes. And that's what I've seen of it too. I don't know, man. I think we're like out of our realm here. I don't think we're allowed to talk about YouTubers at all. So maybe we should.
Well, let's talk about Russell Brand, the celebrity, then.
Yes.
Yeah. I enjoy his. I enjoy his voice, and I enjoy his demeanor.
Yes.
And I enjoy a lot about Russell Brand, but the videos, I watched a few and I turned them off a few minutes in. I'm like, oh god dang, man.
Yeah.
Like you're just getting so far out there. Like to me, discussing that stuff is such a waste of time.
That goes to show, like, when people get wrapped up in stuff, how much they change and they lose their identity, you know?
They lose moments. Like, if they're so wrapped up in that, what have they enjoyed? Like,
yeah,
I like to have shit to tell people. Like, I'm so excited to go on vacation next week because I haven't had any vacation stories in forever. Like, I could get bitten by a shark or something, and I can't wait. So I can come home and be like, I used to have a left leg, but now I don't, because ever since I went down to the beach and the shark bit my damn leg off, like, I can't wait to tell people that story, you know?
Dude, that's
so
great
much better
story.
than what side of the aisle do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
My shark bite story. Like, tell us about your shark bite. Okay.
Dude.
Show us your shark bite, Jeremy.
Dude, the people that have, like, the shark tattoo around, like, a missing limb, have you seen that?
I have not.
It's cool, dude. It's badass. That's something I would do for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm still holding out hopes that a stingray will sting me right in the junk and I'll become super dick.
Super dick. Apparently we're already super dicks.
Well, not in the physical aspect.
Not in the good way, but yep.
No, it's okay. It'll be okay.
Is there any audio stuff you want to talk about? Anything you're excited for?
I mean, I was excited for that T-Bone BC 500, but I talked about it.
Yeah.
Man, besides that, not really. I've kind of taken a break. I've kind of been on a little bit of a hiatus. Like, I did a little short about the Zoom AMS 22. It turns out this device that me and you talked about, it is bus powered on just about everything.
I did see that, just not the one particular phone you had, essentially, right? Is that how it was?
Someone else has confirmed that their S20 is fine. So it's just something to do with my S20 Fan Edition, which is a cheaper version of the S20, like the non-glass and metal. It's plastic, but all the specs are the same. But it must just be something with that. Interesting. It had an update today, and I got excited about it and plugged the Zoom in. I was like, nope, still don't work. But
dang. Yeah.
Surface tablet that I'm using today, great. I've got this T-Mobile secondary phone I got for free when I got T-Mobile. Works great on it. Tested it on a bunch of people. It works Androids. Works great on those. So good on you, Zoom. There's just something with my phone that is rejecting providing 5 volts to the unit. I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
The Zoom AMS 22, hell of a device on second thought. I may just delete the video and do it all over. Yeah.
I gotcha. Well, speaking of the microphone you have in front of you, though, so I did FDUCE SL40. I never did watch your review of it because I had the microphone.
One of your own.
And
right.
But now that I've officially did my video last night of the review for that microphone and everything, and so I was curious. The USB version sounds a lot darker.
It's boomy as shit.
That's what, yeah, okay.
The more I listen to it, yeah.
Yes,
it's smooth, and it would actually be really good with I think it'd sound really good with like an 80K low cut. Like I think it would sound pretty solid. XLR mode, I think it sounds pretty good. Okay, me.
So what I said in my review is like when you listen to the USB version, it's very like boomy and bassy. And then comparing that to the XLR version, when I do it like back to forth, it almost makes it sound thin. But like that's kind of the statement that I made in it. But I was curious though if that's kind of how you felt also. But are you using it as an XLR?
In contrast, I've got an XLR mode.
Yeah.
I don't think I would use it in USB unless I could apply, unless I was using it in post, or if I had something that could provide, I don't think there is anything, but there's a way to throw a small low cut. But the XLR mode I like quite a bit. Like again, it's for the money. It's for the $69 that this thing's currently going for.
Yeah, and that's what I worried about with my review of it was essentially that like I know that a lot of people love bass and a lot of people like that sound, and that's the I don't know, when you go back and forth and you're just listening to it with headphones, in contrast, it really makes the XLR version sound weak, even though you are like, that's way too boomy. You know what I mean? But it makes it's weird.
The contrast is crazy.
Yeah.
But I actually did, which I've been shouting out your name a lot lately, and it's nothing sexual.
Same.
I know, disappointing. But the Hear the Gear podcast that I do, that's just like a little side piece that helps me listen to mics before I do the review. I actually did the FDUCE today. I released that, even though I've already done the video, but I still like to throw mics on that just as like a catalog. And I was very happy in my car listening back to the XLR mode, and then when the USB mode kicked in, I'm just like, God, man, it's
a lot.
It's rattling my car. It's so bassy, and that's just on a voice. Like that's just too much.
Well, and that's the interesting thing about it is I was listening to it back and forth in this one section of my video. And honestly, boomier microphones sometimes sound okay on my voice because I have a thinner voice, I think, than you do. You have a little bit more of a low tone in your voice than I do. But even mine was like in like here, like watching the actual parametric EQ and everything, it was like 5 decibels more like in between 80 to like 150 hertz. Like it was a lot, dude. I was like, holy shit. Like even visually you can really see a difference, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's just too much. Like and I don't understand, like that has to do with the tuning of the USB.
It has
the interface
to
inside, right?
Yeah.
So why? I'd like to know why. Or if you threw a thin capsule in this thing, like then what do you get out of USB mode?
For sure.
Would it be really good? Because I found something out recently, and I was very surprised by it. So I had a Bayer Dynamic drum mic. It was a TGX 70D, maybe.
Okay.
Supposedly the replacement for the Bayer Dynamic M99, which I'm a big fan of.
Gotcha.
And I bought this thing. I got it really cheap. Turns out the capsule was busted, so it sounded absolutely god awful.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
But before the capsule busted, I was able to record a sample, and it worked for like 10 minutes, and then just the sound went completely to shit. So I had this cheap large diaphragm, and I mean large diaphragm dynamic capsule. I got it off eBay. It's what I used. I used it in one of my DIY mics, but it's like a 30-some millimeter dynamic capsule.
Okay.
Won't fit in most handhelds because the ball won't go over.
No, that's fair.
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
I threw this thing in the Bayer Dynamic to resell it, and the capsule was not the same, but the capsule, when wired up to the filter switch board, sounded the same as the sample I got from the good one.
Huh. Okay.
So and then to add to that, I took the ATR 2100 from the Audio-Technica USB XLR mic, the old one.
Yeah.
And I've switched capsules to that, and the tone is eerily similar to the original capsule. Like, I think these boards, it doesn't make any sense how they could overtake a capsule's tuning and make it that, but it seems like that's what happens.
Dude, it does seem like that. I completely agree. It is weird, dude. Like, I know it makes me wonder because, like, in some of these microphones, I mean, I guess that with the MV7, I have a hard time. That's the hard thing about it is, like, I almost have a hard time remembering if I liked the USB or XLR version more. But with the MV7, I believe I liked the USB version more. And it almost did seem like maybe they did skimp on the capsule a little bit, and they're like, let's just tune this fucker up a little bit, make it sound better USB wise. And that almost seems is why they came out with the XLR version, is they almost, they made it sound a little bit better. But yeah, dude, it's weird. I'm curious, and that's like the interesting thing to me is, like, especially USB wise, especially with the FDUCE, why they would have went so heavy on the bass. Maybe it is like the whole broadcast thing. I mean, I can tell you with the Rocaster Pro II, whenever I've tried the processing and I've actually put it on like the preset broadcaster mode, all of them are way too bassy. So it's like, maybe they were just like, hey, fucking, this is what people like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what a lot of people like, but, and I will say, like, listening in my car is a touch unfair because my car's got a bassy sound system anyways.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, super bassy. So it's terrible in that. But I imagine in USB mode on computer speakers and less premium setups, like, it probably sounds pretty good. Actually, I could tell here in a little bit. I'll put that Hear the Gear episode on my little computer speakers, and I bet it sounds really, really good because it's smooth in USB mode. It's just boomy.
Yeah, that's what I found, though, is like with these headphones in particular, these Sony headphones, like, there isn't as much bass in them compared to some others. Like, they're a little bit more high-end detailed, which is nice, though, for, certain things. But so when I listened to it through this, I was like, I don't think I like the XLR, mic a whole lot. I think it's okay, whatever, but actually the USB sounds pretty warm and sounds pretty good. But then I put on like my HD 650s and then I listened through my studio monitors and I was like, ooh, that's kind of boomy. It's pretty boom. So yeah, it's interesting though. I mean, I guess, I don't know, man. I guess it's what some people want. And that's the hard thing about doing mic reviews, I think, in general, is just being like
objectivity.
Yeah. It's like, audio is.
But people at least get to hear. Like, to me, it's all about hearing them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care too much about anyone's opinion so much.
Yeah. That's fair.
I just want to hear them. Like, I watching all your videos, I know, I'm not saying this in a technical term, but like, I'm used to the dynamic range of your voice. So I know what a microphone is going to sound like on mine in comparison to yours.
Yes.
Because I've used a lot of the same microphones you have. And when I hear it
That's
on you
true.
and then I hear it on me, I'm like, it gives you an idea. It at least gives you an idea.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Booth Junkie? No. You have no idea what it's going to sound like on your voice because his sounds, he could pick up a Pile PD mic 1, like if they make such a thing, like a $3 microphone, and he's probably still going to sound pretty solid on it.
It's going to sound amazing, dude. His voice is incredible. So I mean,
why even want different mics if you have that voice?
Dude, I guess that's fair, man. Yeah. when I first started watching him, I was like, I think that's why I was so captivated. It's just like he does have a phenomenal voice, you know?
Yeah. He could put this Ramo on his voice and be like, damn, man, that sounds good. And then I buy it and I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck happened? Mine's busted. Dude, yeah, that's fair.
Seriously is. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's interesting though. Like whenever I listen to a microphone that I know I have used and then I'll listen to it on your voice, I have definitely gotten used to your voice too and being like, oh, on Barks, it'll probably be more like this. And then it usually, you know, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yep. You get the idea from it. So,
yep.
And I'm susceptible to some of that. Like my voice is just low indie enough to where it can make a mic review a little bit confusing.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I've had plenty of people comment like, man, this sounded better on you. I got it. And it's harsh. And I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes the lowness comes out and then sometimes I get all excited and then you hear the harshness. And
I was just going to ask you a question or like, I guess 2 questions. Damn it. It's kind of based off of what we were talking about a little bit last episode, but I was curious, like, we talked a little bit about how we like the community of being like an audio, you know, like an audio YouTuber. And like you get those people that like this like niche topic and you can talk about that with them and you kind of become friends like we did. And, But I was curious though, like what is your least favorite part of being just a YouTuber in general, not even just like an audio YouTuber?
Feeling forced to feeling forced to make a video. Because if you go too long, you feel the self pressure, and that's the worst for me. I don't like feeling like I have to do something. Like if I just want to do it on my own time. But if I look at my last video and it's been 16 days, I'm like, God, I should probably do something, and I hate that feeling because I'd rather just only do it when I want to.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. No, that is a good one. I definitely do feel that, like when there was a time that I was on vacation, like you're going to be very soon. I felt like there was an underlying anxiety when I was gone because I was like, oh shit, like I'm not making anything right now. I'm not even doing like the little bit that I could do each day on stuff. Like I'm like out of it at this point. And it's almost like when you get back, you sometimes feel a little lost. Like you get out of your groove a little bit. That's how I feel, at least, because I think with me, it is a very constant thing. So I don't know, dude. I feel weird getting out of it and then back in.
It's liberating to be out of it for a minute.
It is.
And then you come back and you have to put the shackles back on.
Yeah.
Which makes it sound awful. I mean, I enjoy it for real.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah. I totally do agree with that though. And that's something, like I was saying, like, yeah, dude, I did have an anxious feeling being like, I'm going to be so behind of like what my goals were for myself. And I think that when we've gotten to the point where you do get sent stuff from companies, there's even more pressure when it comes to dates and like when it comes to putting stuff out.
Amazing point.
Being forced to make videos, I get like, or feeling forced to make videos, I do think is a big one. But I think that, for me, feeling forced by a company to make a video is even more frustrating. Like I was telling you about my experience with Donner and how they were wanting me to like put a video out really quick because Prime Day is coming up.
They were like, shitty to Andrew too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, dude. Like, I was like, hey, like this is the process that I do, and I wish that you would have came to me 2 weeks ago if you wanted this done. You know, like, so yeah, I don't know, it's frustrating.
Well, yeah, and it makes you not want to deal with a company anymore. Like, you know, and it's and honestly, I don't know what you make from this whole process.
$2.
I don't make a lot. Like, if the whole shebang talking affiliate links, talking Google AdSense, all that stuff, like I am happy about this, but like, you know, I probably make enough to have a small to mid-size vehicle payment. Like I could probably buy a car from what I make doing this, which is cool. But at the end game of that, it's not enough to live off of. No. So that comes into play sometimes. I'm like, man, like, do I really want to push myself to do all these videos for an extra $10 a day or whatever it is? You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. Yeah.
And the answer is yes, because I enjoy it. But at the same time, you do have to deal with those companies, and I forget about selling all the stuff that people send me, because I'll be transparent. I sell everything that gets sent to me. Like that's just, I don't need to keep all that stuff. And I let them know that, like, you know, make sure you get what you want from me video wise. Like if you want a comparison to one of your other mics, you better say so now, because after I do the video, that shit's on reverb, son. So you better let me know. Yeah,
it's gone.
And I have no shame in that, because that's just like, if you don't want to pay me to do a review and you want to give me the product's going to be what pays me too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that.
Well,
and I want a microphone museum. I don't need that.
Yeah. That's where I feel like I'm getting close to sometimes. And yeah, it's not good, but well,
yeah. How many mics can you use consistently in your life? Like a one-off, tons. I could use a ton of one-offs, but to then just let it sit and deteriorate and nobody use it, nobody get any use out of it, that doesn't seem right.
No, dude, I'm definitely much more the person that I feel like I would rather someone get use out of it than it just rot in my closet, and maybe I'll use it one day, you know?
Yeah, because it's niche. It's not like when you pass away and they do an estate sale, they're going to be like, oh my God, look at all these microphones. They're going to be like, oh, a bunch of microphones, put them in the yard sale. I don't have any idea what they have.
Yep.
I mean, nobody can look at, only certain people can look at an RE20 and know it's an RE20. Everyone else like just thinks it's a microphone, just like one that you use at the karaoke bar. They don't know.
They don't know the difference.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't know. So chances are that thing's going to get sold for $7 at a yard sale when you die. And that's that. So why not just capitalize while you can?
Yeah. I do agree with you. And honestly, you brought up a really good point though, with when it came to least favorite part of YouTube. And I will say, yeah, pressure isn't fun, especially when we don't get paid enough to really make that pressure worth it. And it just feels like pressure without a lot of it paying off, you know? So
sure does.
I mean, I will say though, one of the things that really gets to me is the perception and the requirements of being a YouTuber. Like we kind of talked about, putting your face on a thumbnail for the video to do well, or to do, do all these little things that really aren't us to make it, yes, making an exaggerated face about how stoked you are about a product, and but yeah, dude, oh, that's a cute little notepad. Dude, I actually would buy that based off of that thumbnail right there.
Oh, shit. I failed at getting my point across.
But yeah, dude, I think that, that whole thing gets to me in the sense that I'm like, oh, these are the things that I should do, but I don't want to do them. And I guess that goes down to, being pressured by whether it's the algorithm or other YouTubers or whatever to be a certain way. And also I know that the perception of being a YouTuber also gets to me, when I get the comment that is well, you got sent this for free, and and obviously you're just kissing the company's ass, and I'm like, dude, obviously you know nothing about me. Yeah. I'm like, have you seen me smash a fucking microphone that was sent to me, bro? Because I have.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dude, whatever. Respect. And I fucking, that shit drives me nuts though when someone comments and they're like, well, we obviously can't trust you.
That's jealousy is all that is. And they shouldn't be, because all you have to, I mean, you can do it. If they want to do it, they can do it.
You can do it.
My videos are trash and I get microphones on my porch every 2 or 3 days. You could do it.
Dude, yeah, well, and that's, I don't know. That's the, that's an interesting thing too, is the topic of I've seen the comment, I don't think I've ever commented this, but it's the whole being well, if you can do it better, do it. you know, but then everyone's like, oh, like that's such like a cheap thing to say. And it's like, dude, no, like I actually kind of agree with that. Like if you are going to criticize someone and you think they should do it a different way, that's the perfect start for you doing your own thing and starting a channel.
Yes. Yep.
You know,
that's why I started mine. Andrew wasn't doing discontinued and old and oddball mics. And I was like, that's my arena. And if I grab it now, it can be my arena until somebody does it better, which the opening is there, let me tell you. But, you know, people just don't jump on the opportunity, I guess.
Dude, no, like but your channel, it makes, I mean, with what you talk about too, though, like the rawness of your channel makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's the only way I can do it. It's the only way it's worth it.
Well,
like if it wasn't raw and if it was, you know, if I had to put too much into it, it just isn't worth it for me because I don't have the time. I have children. I have kids to feed, you know?
Yeah.
And that alone makes it hard. I mean, there's other factors, but that alone makes it difficult. I went last night to sit down and do a video, and my kids just totally ruined it. I just threw my headphones off and just gave up, walked away. I was like, I'll do it. I'll try again tomorrow. You know, I'll try again another day. Another day. Little water boy.
Is that water boy?
Yeah,
I was
I quote the water boy too much too.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Okay. So the follow-up question, you kind of did answer it though, but the follow-up question that I have, this will be the last thing that we talk about, and then we can call it an episode. But knowing all you know now, and knowing like what it takes to make a video, what it, you know, like what companies require, the pressure, the comments, people being assholes or like whatever it is. Knowing what you know now, right now, in this moment, would you still do it? Like, would you start?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no doubt about it. I honestly have no regrets. Like, I hate the pressure of feeling like I need to get something done. I hate the pressure of companies wanting their microphone done. But those pressures are the same as any hobby, honestly. Yeah. Like I would put pressure on myself if I was crocheting, like, oh, I haven't knitted a sweater in a long time. I better get on it. Like, you know, that's just life. You know, if you want to achieve anything or accomplish something, like you've got to take the bumps along the way. You just have to.
Well, do you feel like, I mean, like, I think it's fair to assume that you do slightly, but do you look at it like it's a job?
Yeah. I mean, I have to because I put pressure on myself. So that tells me that, you know, I do treat it as, I mean, I definitely at least treat it as secondary income. Yeah. Because even if it's only the equivalent of a small car payment a month, like that's still significant. Like, if, you know, anytime I get a raise and it only equates to an extra $50 or $100 pay, like that's still very significant. Like, all my streaming services are now paid for, you know, what I mean? Like, so it's all a factor. So, I mean, I definitely consider it as a bit of a side job. Luckily, my day job provides ample time for me to multitask because I do just sit in an office and I do just basically respond to emails and do a little Excel shit here and there. So I am able to like edit a video and do what I do really easily, really easily. So it's easy to incorporate it into a job. And it's, you know, it's fun. I don't know what I would do if I didn't do this because there is time that needs filled that I would be twiddling my thumbs if I didn't have this channel. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that like the way that I've kind of approached it and it might even show, it might show sometimes, but I feel like when I am feeling that pressure from a company or from a deadline or whatever, there's a video that needs to be put out, I do find myself treating it more like a job. But then there are those videos where like whether I bought the microphone or whether like I just really, really like it or whatever it is, like, and I'm not feeling that pressure from a company or whatever, then like the lightheartedness will come out and like I'll have a little bit more fun with it. And then I'm like, like I think that for you to care enough about it, you almost have to view it as a job to like make the deadlines and feel that, and like actually,
turn that pressure into like positive production, you know? And
Yep.
so, yeah, I do. A part of me like felt like, you know, like when I was starting, like I don't ever want to feel like it's a job. Like I just want to have fun with this and just like, I don't think it's a bad thing though. Like being in the position now that like we've done it for a while, like I feel like it's more appropriate for it to feel slightly like a job, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would love if it was my job. Like if I actually was able to not have a 9 to 5 because of something like this, which is a pipe dream, by the way. I have no delusions. But if it was that, like, I could definitely spend 4 hours a day improving the quality of my videos and doing more with them and putting more out if that was my main source of income. That'd be great. 4 hour work days, that's a dream. I'm all in.
Right.
But, you know, that's just, it's not the case. So, you know, I have to treat it as like half hobby, half work. And before we end it, I will say there is a huge difference. Something you said put this in my head, but there's a huge difference in what you're doing a video on. Like I've got this pair of Kimafune in-ear monitors that I'm dreading doing a video on because there's just not much to talk about.
Yes.
There's not much. Like no one can hear what I'm using. You know, they're earphones. I don't, you know, headphones I kind of got into for a minute and I'm like, how can I give quality on a headphone review?
It's
like,
hard,
they can't
man. That's
hear,
a hard one.
You know, and there is quality there to an extent, but it's, you know, some products are exciting, some are not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big part of it for sure. And there's a lot of things worse. But when it comes down to making a video, one of the worst things is being excited about a product that is being sent to you and then you get it and it's a piece of shit, dude. Like it's so disappointing. And it's like really hard for me to not wear that like on my face, you know, like throughout the whole video. And like, I mean, even in a lot of videos, like I'll give it away pretty much immediately, even though I try not to, because I'm like trying to be the person that's like, I'll let you decide. And then at the end, I'll let you know what I think. But dude, sometimes I can't get there, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening or watching the 3rd episode of Obscure Hotline. I want to say audio hotline so bad when I'm saying that. It's just natural for me to do that. Right. I either want to say obscure mics or audio hotline, but yeah. But
that'll
you can check
the point.
Yeah. But you can check out my stuff at audio hotline or Bark stuff at Obscure Mics. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, come watch us do our jobs that aren't our jobs.
Exactly.